Hi everybody, it's Diana with Stamping with Die. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Dies Shorts. And I'm going to be doing the Crafted Blooms kit with you today. I don't know how long it will take, so it might be a longer video than normal, but this is such a cute little kit. And I want to do it with you. So this is one of the new August kits, and I showed you the Halloween hat one last week as well, and I will be doing that next week for my Teach Me Tuesdays because it will take a little bit longer. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. So welcome. So if you are new, during the video premiere, I'm in the chat room. So head on over there. I'll be there with my friends. Otherwise, if you're watching the replay and you have a question or a comment, just leave it below, and then YouTube lets me know and I can reach out to you. Okay, so let's get started. Now, I did find these two, whatchamacallits. These are the same size ones. I took the little bunny off of it. I think this is the one the bunny was on. Anyways, because you can get these. They're like too big and a smaller one or whatever. So I have these, but I ended up sending the other one to a friend. So I'm going to see if I could perhaps put one of them in this frame. So we'll see. We will see. Alrighty then. So let's get started. So close your eyes for a second while I get my camera adjusted. Okay, so this is the kit, and what I probably will do, just to speed things up, I will get this stuff ready, because like, see, I have other languages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split up the kit and get it ready for each of the projects. And I think that will just make this video go a little bit faster. So let me do that. Everything punched out. I do want to look. Does it say what colors they usually do for kits? All right, so Calypso Coral. So I'm just going to kind of pull these colors out. Now, I'm not going to say I'm going to use them. All right, Cloud Cover, Crumb Cake. But as I was poking these out, Golden Glow, I was thinking that they might look even cuter if I put a little bit of Old Olive, Peaceful Pine. If I were to add a little bit of blending brush to them, Pecan Pie, just to kind of emphasize some of their color. Petal Pink, Secret Sea, Strawberry Slush. All right. So I just kind of have those colors off to the side. And, all right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm also going to put the pieces that go together in a pile as well. separated. Now, when I got to the last one, I was missing, oh, I think because I moved it over there. Oh, no. So I don't know. So anyways, yeah, I was missing something, and it could have just have been me when I was sorting them. So anyways, okay. So let's see here. So now we're just going to kind of build these flowers. So I think I want to build the flowers first and then finish the card. So let's do the little card first. Is that number 2? Yeah, that's number 2. So it just kind of tells you like your layers and what you're putting on there. So the kit came with, what did I do with it? Oh my gosh, Diana. The kit did come with, here we go. The kit came with glue dots and dimensionals, but you know, they use these glue dots that are on the little dealy bob, and I'm not a fan of those. I mean, I'm glad it comes with the kit. I just don't care for them. So I'm going to use my boxed glue dots, and then it came with some dimensionals, and I'll probably just use some packs I had on my desk. So basically, you're just kind of stacking these flowers up. All right. And this is really cool because it's giving you these little centers. Like when you put them together, it gives you like that thick center of a flower. Like, isn't that cool looking? All right, so let's see here. Let's do heavens to Betsy. Let's see here. So this at first threw me because I pulled out all the same sizes, but you actually have 3 different sizes of these. So see, they stack like that to make your flower. So they're just using the glue dots down here. But personally, I'm wondering if I should use the green tip glue. It won't give as much thickness, but I think it'll give me a little more wiggle room maybe. So let's just put a little green tip glue there. And then you just kind of like stagger them a little bit. Oh, hold on. Hold a moment. Hold, please. All right. Let me look at my pictures. Oh, and it's not like I got more than one kit. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's one flower, not 2 flowers. So we're just gonna kind of stagger and make them kind of crooked looking. Okay. All right, let's put this back here. So then we're gonna take this big one, the other big one, and put on top of there. And we're just going to move it just kind of like that, I guess. Okay. Then we'll take the next size. Yeah, so then we'll take the next size. And I was going to add a little color. I want to see here. This is whatchamacallit. This is Calypso. Because they do have a little bit of speckledy in the center. But I'm wondering if I were to just put a little So see, it just has a tiny little bit of shading on it. Let me peel this off of there. We'll have that wrecked yet by the time I get this done. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit there. So I'm not putting a lot. This one has a little bit of glue on it, so I don't want to lay it right on my grid sheet and have it get glued. But this might not even make a difference. But I do like adding a little bit of blends to the kits. You know, when you've got the paper that's already colored, if you just add a little bit of blends to it, it just intensifies that a little bit. So see how it just gives it kind of like a 3D effect? So that's why I was looking at the colors, because this is like, what did I say, Calypso? No, yeah, Calypso Coral. But it's like a tad lighter because they put Calypso Coral in the little dots. Let me get myself over here a little bit. In the little dots. So they have to make the flower a little lighter. You wouldn't see those dots. All right. So I think that kind of looks good. So let's try for the third time. The third time is the charm, right? All right, so let's put our little green tip glue. And then we're just going to glue our flowers. And then I will go in and I will bend them up, right, to give them a little 3D. But I'm just thinking that the green tip glue might be a little more permanent than the glue dots. Okay, so we're just stacking these all up. Okay. And then you are taking, let me bring my thing over so you can see. That's a little better. All right. And she says it may be a little bit longer. Heck yeah, that's slow as she's going. All right, so then we have these here. So we're going to stack those up, but we're going to stack them. And again, they're having you use the glue dots, but I'm just using my green tip glue. And then they just have you stack them, but you're going to turn them so that you're making like this center of a flower looking thing. Okay. Then we have this piece here, and it will take this little star. Hold on a minute. No, it doesn't either. It's taking these. I'm looking at the wrong flower. All right. So these are going to go in the center here. And I'm just going to use my pick tool. Your pick tool is your friend. And then you're going to stagger these two. So you're going to stagger those. And then this is going to go on here. And I'm going to take It's a little pool party. I'm going to take a little pool party on my white things, and I'm just going to put a little and I could do this with the gray granite. Might have looked cute too. 'Cause that's what I use a lot of times is my gray granite, which gives you that kind of white tinge. But I thought for a flower that the pool party might look cute. Oops, these two didn't glue. Oh, maybe I didn't glue them. Did I not put glue there? I might not have in my speed. I stuck them there without any glue, I guess, apparently. Now I am going to put this on with a glue dot. Just so that it has a little 3D look to it. Okay. So that's going to go on there like that. And then this is going to go on here like that. And I'll put it on with glue dots too. So that goes like that. And then after it's really glued, now I didn't glue that too much in the center, did I? When it's really, really glued, I'm going to take my bone folder, if I can find it. And I'm going to like fold some of these up so that there's a lot of dimension going on. And I want to do the same thing to my petal leaves. And just kind of, you know, bring them up. Give it a little bit of dimension so it's not laying so flat. And I need to glue this better. Or I need to let it sit up anyways. You can also go like this. All right, so I'm going to mess with that more later, but you know what I mean. All right. Just needs to be fiddle-farted with. Now, I don't know if I necessarily care for the blends on there after all. Okay, so now we have these ones. And here they are. All right, so we're basically going to do the same thing with the other flowers. We're just going to stack them up, glue them, and put that center in. All right, so I'm not going to put any. Oh, wait, I'll put blends on this one. Just because the other flower has it. This one might look weird if I don't. Okay. This will be petal pink. Petal pink is so light. And it's really just blending in, but you can kind of see that it's a little darker because I am just using the light petal. So I could totally use the dark one. I don't want it to be too dark. All right. But we're going to do the same thing. Just put a little glue and stagger these. And then this is the one that took that. It's kind of skinny, so I'm just going to put my green tip glue. And put that on there. Okay. Then we have the pink. So there's 3 pinks. So this is strawberry slush. Let's see. Now strawberry slush is going to be pretty dark. So I'm going to take flirty instead. They look like a boat propeller. And then we'll do the same thing. Just stack them up. Kind of tweak them a little bit so they're not perfect. And then the center of that one is, oh my gosh, I'm so blind. All right. I think it's 2 yellows. So you have these yellow doohickeys. And we're just going to stack them up like we did the other one. We're just going to offset them so they almost look like a starburst kind of thing. Okay. There's that one. And then this one, same thing, a little bit of glue, offset. So see, a lot of times I'll get 2 kits and then I kind of make one ahead of time so I know what I'm doing, but I did not get to this one. I just figured we can figure it out together. All right, and then this has this little white piece here with 2 blue. And then that will go on here. Okay. Then, all right, so then we'll set our flowers off to the side so they can really dry really well. And then let's look at our leaves. So our leaves, let's get that out of the way. Our leaves, we have 5 of these. And now it said Old Olive, but I'm going to do dark lemon lime twist. Because I think Old Olive would be too dark. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm just kind of adding it to the edge a little bit. And you might not even see it when it dries. All right. You know, when you do something, you go, why did I even bother? All right. So we have that. Now I also have these. So we have 5 of these. And it talked about the peaceful pine. So, yeah, so you can't even see that. So where's my light old olive after all that? So I'm going to come back in with my light old olive and add it anyway. Because that will stay darker. All right, and then we have our light peaceful pine. So I'm just gonna now it has a little bit, it looks like they kind of tried to put a little shadow on them. This is just going to emphasize it a little bit more. And I might not do it to the other ones. We'll get this one finished and then I'll decide. But I didn't want to just do it to one flower and not the rest, because then everything else would really look weird. But I love how this paper like takes that color, because it's got like almost like a base color down there, like a primer or something like that. All right, so that just kind of add a little bit of extra color. All right. Oh, okay, this makes sense, because I could not see that they were putting it on the card. I'm like, what are they doing right there? Okay. So they have this card now. Oh, here's another blue one. Okay, so that's probably the blue one I was missing. Okay, so we have our card. And we're going to put these on with glue dots. All right. And this card goes like that. So I'm just kind of going to go by how they have them spaced on the sample. So if you look right here, you can see the card. I'm just going to like place them how they have done it there. All right. And I'm just putting a glue dot, you know, down here. And then I'm basically just going to kind of build on my card where the flower is going to go. They also put a glue dot on the bottom there. Now, when you're using the glue dots, no matter if you use the ones in the box or the ones they give you, just be careful when you're pulling it off. Like, really get that stem. Do not yank it from way up here or you'll just tear it. All right, so then this goes like this. So hopefully I'm not too off center. Then we have our little flowers, and I'm just going to use green tip glue for those. I think I'm going to wait on these till I put my real flowers, just in case I'm list off center a little bit, which I could very well be. All right, now this one. Okay, this one goes over here, and they are hanging out a little bit. So if I put it in that frame, because this is the smaller one, that might be an issue. So I might have to just do some tweaking or whatever. So that goes like that. And maybe the frame won't even work, right? Okay. Oh, this just goes like that. And then we have 2 more down here, because this is what we are going for. Did I show you these? This is what we're going for. So this kind of helps too if I look at that. All right. Okay. Then we have these two towards the bottom. Although I do like adding that little bit of color to the leaves. So maybe when I did the Calypso, I just did that too dark. Like maybe I should have picked, you know, a different color or something like that. And then this one. This should have been a Teach Me Tuesdays, because this might be a long video after all that. But I wanted to show you them because they're so cute. I know I'm a visual person, so I like to see things taught to me. I like to see things explained to me, like visually. I have a hard time just listening to somebody say, do this, like blah blah, and then but it doesn't always stick in my noggin. So all right, now I'm gonna put these white flowers on after I put the big flowers on, just in case, like I said, I didn't get these in the right position, so I can fill in my spots. So I'm just gonna use my fingers to fold these up a little bit, give them a little. And I like that they're colored on the back too. So if you do, like, bring these forward, add a lot of dimension to them. They don't have a white back, so it looks natural, right? It looks like a flower would be because it doesn't have that white back. So I'm just kind of playing with them a little bit. Now you can also wet these and they'll fold a lot better if you wet them, if you soften that paper before you wet them. Spritz them with a water bottle or one of our little spritzers. All right, so I'm just kind of bringing those forward, make it look a little more 3D. I'm doing the same thing with these little blue pieces, just using my fingernail. So that makes it look really cute, doesn't it? Because now it's got a little bit more shape to it. Same with these little yellow flowers. So you could really, you know, emphasize this. All right, but let's just get it on the card so you're not here all day. All right, so then these go on with, does it say? I guess it just depends on what you want to do. Okay, so this guy's going to go down here. This one, I still have to do all my bending. Just kind of crunch it up a little bit. All right, so this one's going to go up here. The pink one, so I ordered some, I think they're called Streptocartus or something like that from the Violet Barn. Remember I ordered those little mini African violets? So I ordered some Streptocarpus, where they're a little bit at a different flower, but they're kind of, I guess, related to an African violet. So Jeff was at the dentist. Well, I was at the dentist too when it got delivered, so I could watch from my camera, you know, as the UPS guy delivered. And I'm like, it says fragile, blah, 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 all over. And he just drops it. I'm like, oh my gosh. But they pack their order so well. Like, it was totally fine. Like, nothing was wrong with it. But I was just like, oh my God, he just dropped the box. Anyways, all right. So there is that. So see how just adding the little bendings just really makes it look, you know, even better. All right, so I'm just looking at the layers. So this guy looks like he goes on last. So these guys kind of go on first. So I'm going to use dimensionals. Now, I don't know if you're supposed to put these on with dimensionals, but I'm going to, because this is a 3D thing, so it can be 3D. And if it doesn't fit in that frame, I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so this one goes here. Then this one kind of overlaps it a little bit, but I've really bent the flowers up. So okay. And then this guy is there because we have our welcome. So we have our welcome sign, which goes down the center. Okay, so this guy's here. And this big old guy is going to go on the bottom there. Okay, so he's going to go there. And then you can really like get in here and, you know, fold up your edges. Get those all like 3D looking. It did not come with any bling, but you totally could add some bling to your flowers, which I probably will. I'll probably add some Wink of Stella as well. All right, now we have our little welcome. And it is, and I'm going to put the welcome on it because these little white flowers, I'm just going to kind of fill them in to spaces. So I have really fluffed this up, right? Like I really did. So my welcome is really going to have an issue being glued. So I'm going to kind of force it down in here. Put dimensional there and there. So we've got our little welcome, and then I can, you know, make these flowers come up and around. Okay, and then we have our little white doodads, and I'm just going to put them. Now I might put a dimensional over here, to be honest. Let me get one of these half guys. So take the backing off it, pick them up, and there. So it just kind of lays a little bit more. All right. So then we can put our little white guys. So I might not be putting them exactly where they said. I'm just kind of filling in some of these blank areas. So one there, there's one here. I love it against that green leaf. And I'll do the same thing with these white flowers. After they're really good and dry, I will like bend them up. But I don't want to do it now because I've just barely glued them to the card. Okay. And here. And here. Okay. Alrighty. So here's the first one that took a little bit of time, but I'm just learning. But I kind of, you know, now that it's together, I kind of do like that, you know, adding that little bit of blends to them. It just kind of makes them, you know, pop a little bit. But like I said, I'm going to go in and bend these flowers. So here's this frame that I was talking about, because this is the smaller of the ones. And Like, I don't think it will fit in there just because of all the 3D, but look how cool it looks. Just like this. Like, could I glue it? It fits there really, really good. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut myself a piece of basic, not basic black. I'm going to do Secret C because this is Secret C. So I'm going to go measure this, cut myself a piece of Secret C, and then we're just going to attach it to the front of the frame. What I did was, so I have my frame. Now there's a space here, right? So if I put this here, it's going to have like nothing in the center of it, but I don't really want to wreck my frame. Like, I don't want to glue something to the glass because I like to reuse my frame. So this is just some polyfill or whatever you call it. So I'm just going to kind of put some polyfill in there just so that there's a little something there. All right. So I have taken 2 pieces of Secret C. And I'm going to just kind of take my scissors and I'm going to scuff up the edge of this one. And I'm going to glue, not glue dot, but dimensional it to another piece of Secret C. So just by, you know, scuffing up that edge, it makes you see it a little bit better, especially since I'm putting it tone on tone. This is also going to help stabilize that picture because we're putting it on that frame, right, with that hole there. All right. Okay. So this is just going to go right over top of that. Okay. Then I'm going to bring this over and put it right on there. And I'm just going to use my green tip glue. So that looks cool, right? Okay. So then we're going to bring it over to the frame. Now I don't want to glue it to the frame because, like I said, I might want to use this frame later. So what I'm going to do is I was thinking of putting dimensionals, but that might ruin the frame too. This is me just thinking out of the top of my head. But if I pop this up, you'll be able to see back there. Okay, so I'm just going to, so ignore what I said about ruining the frame. I'm just going to glue it right on top. But I still want something in here, like, you know, for that hole. And that polyfill just works really, really good. You know, I was like, what, do I just put a bunch of paper in there? But that polyfill has a little bit of give. So I'm just going to glue it in there. And in this frame, make sure it's not upside down. So then this frame will just always have that. Now, I could always take the glass out because the back will be open. You know, I'm just gluing this to the front. All right, so I'm just going to use my green tip glue. And I'm just going to run a bead of it down the side. Like I said, I haven't done this. We're just playing by the going by the seat of our pants. All right. And then I'm just going to glue it right to the front of the frame. And I probably would need to put something like heavy on it, you know, or just kind of hold it for a while. Bone folder. Just give it a good rub. But I love how this looks just on top of the frame. Because I've done that before where I've put like designer series paper like behind the glass, and then I'll build like my card, my 3D card or something on top of the glass. I've done that before, but I've never just glued stuff totally on the front of the frame. And this, I think it looks so cute, doesn't it? Oh my. All right, you know I can't not put any bling. All right, now this did not come with bling, but you could totally add bling. I think what would look kind of cute is like in these little flowers. So I just have a Stampin' Right. I haven't even done the other two cards. I might just, because basically it is the same way of making these flowers over and over and over again. So I think what I'll do is I will just make the other two on my own, because this video is going to be too long. I'll make the other ones on my own, and then I'll just come back and I'll show you them finished, because basically it's the same, you know, the flowers are just going to be made the same. They're just going to be like a finished. But I just really wanted to show you like this one that I'm really changing. All right, so I have a Stampin' Right black marker. And I'm going to, and I probably should have did this before I put it on the frame, but that's okay. All right, so I'm just going to take, and I'm going to put some little circles in the center of these flowers, just so they're not like plain. And I also might play around with my gel pen. You know me and my gel pen. I'll be buried with my gel pen. All right, so let's see here. But see how it looks kind of cute with those little dots there? All right. And then we also have, I think we still have these. I apologize if we don't. Oh my gosh. But these are the Ladybug Garden epoxy trinkets. And I think these would look cute too. All right. If we take, see this white, they're like a clear. And I'm going to put in the center of the flower. So they almost look like a water droplet. We have so many different blings. But you could also put, see there's like smaller ones. I think the smaller ones would look cute on these daisies. Oh my gosh, yes. All right. That looks so cute, and it is totally the right size for the center of that daisy, if you get it on there right. There we go. Let's see how many more. And I'm, you know me, I'm totally putting a ladybug. Get over there. And I like it says welcome. So this would be cute to put in the guest room. I think I already have one I made that I stamped that says welcome in the guest room. So I might just have to exchange it for this one. I'm going to bring this flower up a little bit. There we go. All right, so I like that. I might add a little bit more dots there. And then I might add some white gel pen dots. How's that? As well as the black. because then adding those colors together, it makes the black almost stand out a little bit. Oh, that looks cute. Doesn't that look cute? Using those two together. And then you could do the same thing here. Like they have these really cute little, they have the little pink dots that they actually put on those flowers. But I'm just going to add some little white gel ones as well. You know me, I have to mess with everything. Okay, let's put our ladybug on there. And then I can do these other two cards. And then I will show them to you finished. All right. Because what I could do is what I might do is put the flowers together on my own. And then come back with you and put the card together after the flowers are done. All right, so let's put our little ladybugs. So these little ladybugs are just going to be crawling around. I think they even need to be on the welcome. I'm going to have them go like this. So it looks like he has written that. So see, it kind of looks like he wrote that welcome. All right, 1, 2. Let's see. Let's put it on a leaf. How about 1, 2, 3? So cute. And see, it will stand up. It will stand up. I love it. And then I got these frames. I think I have them on my favorite things on my blog over here from Amazon. But so that looks so cute. All right. So like I said, I'm going to do these other flowers and then I will come back with you and we'll put the cards together. How about that? So I have these flowers done and this is this one here. So this goes on the top. And then we have our little home is a feeling. And it looks like, let me gauge it by the thing. It looks like this just gets glued. Yeah, right underneath there. Because if you're not sure, we could always count these circles. Oh my gosh, Diana. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I guess all I have to do is look at them. Whatever. Pretty much. Pretty much. It's just going to get glued right there. And then we will put our leaves like we did on that first one. So I'm just butting it up against that lined paper. So it makes it easy. Okay. All right. Then, so like before, we're going to put our leaves first. So we have 3 leaves on the top. One. Put my glue dots on there. It's ready to go. These look kind of like Hoya leaves. I don't know how many Hoyas, and I just got 2 more. And they're kind of a neat plant. I haven't gotten any of them to flower yet, but mine aren't very old, so I don't know. All right, so we have that. Then we take this one like that. Oops. Oh, I didn't get the glue dot with it. Hold on a minute. There we go. So this kind of goes like that. And then this one goes like that. And then we take one of these green guys. And he goes like that. And then down here on the bottom, we're going to put this one. And this one. And this one. Oh, I need another one. That was what this extra one was. I was like, what do I have this extra leaf? All right, so let me put that. All right. And I am going to, after I get these done, I am going to go in and add a little bit more, like if I've got like loose leaves or anywhere, because I am waiting till I get it all the way glued, because when you put the flowers on, they will hold down things that might be a little bit loose. So I'm just going to wait till they're all the way done before I do that. All right, so let's do what we did before. We're going to do this guy goes here. And again, I ruffled up the edges of the flowers. All right, so that one goes there. Then this one goes down here. Okay, and then that one goes there. And I think I'm going to put the dimensionals on here so that I'm not going to be getting the dimensionals on these petals. Because if I put the dimensionals here, I'm not for sure where it's going to be. So I think this will be easier. Because then I can just plop that flower right down. And then we can kind of mix these little petals around so that they kind of go into each other. And what I'll do is, I still have to do the little white flowers. You know, I'll go in there and kind of mess with these. All right, let me put these little white flowers. So we have one up here. We have one here, here, here. Oh, I'm going to put it on the leaf. So you can do that, but you can't do it for a long time or that glue starts to dry. I kind of like it against the leaf. All right, so there is the second one. And I will go in and, you know, add the bling and do all the other like little extra things I'm going to do to it, and then I'll show it to you like all the way done. All right, so now let's do the third and last one. Okay, so here's the last one. Well, I like this saying, when we have each other, we have everything. Isn't that the most nicest saying? All right, so I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. I don't know if it was supposed to be on with dimensionals. Yeah, it is. All right. I think that looks... Wait. Okay, there we go. And like before, we are putting the leaves on for the flowers. Let me get my leaves with the glue dots. My computer's bing bonging. All right, so let's see here. So we're gonna put 1, 2. Now you want to be careful if we are using those clipboards. Sometimes these leaves will get in the way if we use that clipboard. So we might have to adjust that a tad. All right, and then this one is actually off of there. Like that. I think last time I actually built them on the clipboard, did I not? I can't remember. All right, we just might have to move these. It's easy enough to do so that they stay in here. And if they wiggle, we can figure it out. All right, so let's see here. So then I also need these dark leaves. So putting one here. So it's kind of neat that they did another kit to use the clipboards. Now, I don't think it said, use the clipboards, but I think it's kind of like, oh, these also, go with those clipboards. All right. And then the clipboards are sold separately. So they don't come with the kit. So you can use them for other things. Maybe you like to display your, something in your kitchen or, whatever. You can use the clipboards. All right, so that goes there. And there. Okay, so this flower will be easy enough because it just goes up there. Doesn't have to wiggle room around up there. Okay. And then, okay. So this guy goes on there first. And then the yellow one, or golden glow rather. Okay. And then this one. So this might have been up here a little bit. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my dimensionals on here. This guy might have been a shoulda up there just a tad. But then these leaves probably were supposed to be up there too. So, hey, it is what it is. I can always fiddle fart with it more later. All right, so there's that. Okay, then we have these cute little white flowers. And I've got Stampin' Blends on my fingernails. All right, let's see here. So we have one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, over here, 5. And then I'm just using my pick tool to pick them up. Just remember I put all my glue dot, my little glue, whoops, not that. My little glue green tip glue dot things. Droplets. There we go. Oops. There we go. Cute, cute, cute. And then there's the last one. All right. So what I'm going to do off camera, I'm just going to get everything like bent up. If I'm going to add any more of, little dots here and there, any blings, I will do that. And then I'll come back and I'll show you, them all the way finished. Okay. So before I show you the finished projects, I ended up using the in color dots as well as the Ladybug Garden epoxy shapes. So I actually took some, let me show you the frame. So this is the frame we did together. I actually removed some of those clear ones and I put the little in color dots, and I liked the look of those better. But I did put some of those clear ones on the leaves because they kind of, to me, look like little like water droplets. So I might actually put, a few more of those. But here's the one we did together. I don't think I changed much. I might have just spruced up. I bent these leaves a little bit, just to get it a little more 3D. I did tack down some of these so they weren't too loose. All right, so there's that first one. And then here is this one. And these look really cute on the clipboards. So you can see where I used the in color dots here. And I did do this center kind of like I did the other one. I still need to do a little, our power went out while I was doing this. So half of the lights aren't working in the studio because they're on timers. So it messes my timers up. But anyways, so I need to do a little bit more, zhuzhing. Is that what you call this? Zhuzh. But I love how that turned out. Home is a feeling. And I think these are more my style necessarily than the moths one. Or moths, however you pronounce it. And then here is the other one. When we have each other, we have everything. And I love the little ladybugs. I really hope you can still get the ladybugs. When I put the description down below with the supplies, I'll find out then. But so anyways, and I even drew a little circle and some dots, and I put one of those clear ones just to add a little something else to that flower. But I really like how these turned out. So this is the August kit, and that was me changing it up a little bit, and then but I do love the look of it on that frame. All right, so let me say see you later, alligator. So yeah, so hopefully my mic's still working. So it's a little bit dark in here. My poor plants will be going, hey, we didn't get our 12 hours of light. But anyways, but I don't want to mess with them now. I'll figure it out in the morning. So, all right. So I'm going to stop blabbing. I will see you Monday for my mimeograph Monday with a twist. And that will be 3 o'clock. Arizona time. Oh, hold on a second. Will I be? Will I be? Let me look at my calendar. Hold on. Yes, 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 yes. I will be here. Now, when I say that, I'm hoping I'll be in the chat room. You know, I'll have a video unless something happens, but because I went to the dentist today and replaced a crown on the bottom, and I actually commented about a little bump on the roof of my mouth, and one of my root canals, and like from 3 years ago, he says there's an infection in there. I'm like, oh no, because that's what happened years ago down here. And then I had to get an implant. They had to take that tooth out. So cross your fingers, your toes, your eyes, whatever. That when I go to the endodontist, I think he's called, that I go to, um, that he'll be able to just redo that root canal. So anyways, and then that's Monday when I go for my where that endodontist will just see what he can do about it. That won't be the day that he does it unless he has time or something. But so hopefully I'll be home by then to be in the chat room with you. All right, so I'm going to stop blabbing. Have a good weekend, and I will see you when I see you. How about that? But let me know what you think about this this kit, and so yeah, I think it's really cute. And I think it will look cute around my house with all my plants everywhere. All right, I'm going to stop blabbing for real. I'll talk to you later and see you next week. All right, bye for now.